What's up, world? Let me tell you about this beard growth oil I got from 12 tribes on Earth. 8 ounces of oily goodness with a nozzle that prevents sprays and spills, and soft ingredients that make it perfect addition to anyone's morning routine. From coconut to castor, all these oils are hand chosen. After using this herbal blend, the biggest thing I noticed is how soft, how strong my hair was, and how good I feel. Pick up your bottle today and make your beard the star of the show.
Shalom, family. Good to see everyone. Hope you're doing well. Boy, there have been probably more floods than I think I've seen in my lifetime in 2026. It is definitely something different about this year between the, recent heat waves to all of the flooding, the tornadoes. It has really been a different year. And at 3:45, I have a live with people that have gone through, um, blackouts during right in the middle of a heat wave. And the power is not coming right back on, y'all. Sometimes the power will go out on a Saturday and it does not come back on until Wednesday. That's what these folks have been sitting in. And it's happening more frequently out in the Midwest. Some people are reporting 2 and 3 blackouts in one day. So it is getting bad. Now, there are many that are blaming data centers of taking up so much power that when people turn on their AC, it knocks out the power. So we'll see that. But we're going to talk about the flash flood that hit Queens in New York. And y'all, it was bad. This happened about 1 day ago, and it was bad. Now, people are saying clogged drains and everything, but, that's up to the city to stay on top of that kind of stuff. But once the water get up in there, it does not drain right away. And it's a lot of people that have lost virtually all kinds of items in their homes because of the flood. So we're going to get into that. And I mean, these flash floods are now becoming a common thing in America, where you can get now, like I told y'all, in my state about a week ago, it flooded in my town, and 3 inches in 1 hour. 3 inches of rain in 1 hour. So that's what we're seeing, and it's becoming very common all across America. Now, we've been talking about the heat wave in Europe, but America's really been going through it too. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Thank you.
Yeah, Joe, it rained and it poured everywhere today. But as we know, there are certain communities that are hit especially hard. And this is one of them, 153rd Street and Peck Avenue in Flushing. When it rains here, well, it is not just a small problem that people get through. It took the whole day for them to get over this one. The rain is not just an inconvenience in this part of Flushing. It's the enemy. And these are its casualties. Ronald doesn't only need a new bed. He needs a new car battery. A bad rainstorm means his street becomes a lake, his home flooded like dirty water.
In a minute, the water's going up.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so what did you do?
So grab my daughter and go up there on the second floor.
The higher ground for some drivers on the BQE was the roof of their vehicle. They didn't have much time as floodwaters rose rapidly. A fire truck powered through to get to those who were trapped. On the Clearview Expressway in Bayside, the stranded looked on in disbelief as rescuers waded through the flood to help drivers get out of their submerged cars. Back on 153rd Street near Casino Boulevard in Flushing, a disaster relief organization brought cleaning supplies to homeowners like Michael, who are still trying to dry out.
We were trapped down there. As soon as we opened the door, it started flooding right in.
As the water seeped in, he rushed to move his brother's sneaker collection to the countertop, but he couldn't salvage everything.
A lot of it, got damaged. So like his couch, his bed, he had a gaming chair as well as a computer.
Mother Nature once again struck down any hope these homeowners had for a dry summer. They even have a nickname.
The Family Flood Watch Brigade,
Oh, wow.
because as soon as it rains, we're always having to make sure that there is no flooding going on.
The city comes and they clear out the drains?
No,
They don't.
we
cleaning.
cleaning the drain. So
So what would you like to see the city do just to help you guys?
fix everything here.
The city's Department of Environmental Protection has actually put a small white sign on that stop sign behind us, and they call that a flood sensor. At least that's what the sign alerts the community of. And that sensor is able to track flooding in this neighborhood and provide helpful data to the city in order to better understand the problem. Homeowners say it's a decades-old problem, but it has gotten a lot worse in recent years with the type of rain we've been getting. We're live in Flushing. Anthony Carlo, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
These storms hit Queens especially hard. Parts of the Whitestone and Clearview expressways look more like flowing streams. The high water left some drivers stranded. Eyewitness News reporter Anthony Carlo is in Woodside. Anthony.
Well, Joe, drivers feel like they worked a job today just trying to get around here in Queens. That fast and furious rain followed by the flooding has left everybody shocked. That's the BQE here behind us, and it was shut down in both directions at Queens Boulevard earlier this afternoon. You can see it is back open now. But if you needed further proof on just how bad it was, take a look at this video. People climbed out of the windows of their vehicles as floodwaters quickly rose and stranded them on the BQE. As one driver waited for help, well, there wasn't much to do but smoke a cigarette while standing on top of a box truck. A couple of guys managed to get out of that truck and clung to the overpass wall as they sidestepped very carefully to get to the first responders who were waiting for them. The dirty floodwaters right beneath. Let's get you to some more video here. This is in Whitestone. Cars drove through several inches of water near the Cross Island Expressway. The traffic kept moving, but it wasn't easy. emergency. Even some city buses had to push through the water, which collected very rapidly as that rain came down. And then traffic was at a standstill on the Clearview Expressway as we show you some video in Bayside. You don't see this very often, this kind of standstill at least. Drivers had nowhere else to go but into floodwaters. Some vehicles were partially submerged as rescuers waded through that dirty water to help drivers get out. We talked with some people who had the misfortune of being on the roads today. They are happy they are back on dry land, to say the least.
Actually, right in Bayside, right by the Cross Island exit, the thing was completely flooded. It was you couldn't see the road. Yeah.
And so, how did you react to that? Did you stop driving?
We stopped. We had to go all the way around just to get past that area. Wow. Yeah.
So you spent a lot of time in the car today.
Yeah. We were in the car for maybe 2 hours now.
2 hours. And to make matters worse, that guy tells me that his basement was flooded. So an all-around difficult day for him. What's even more stunning, as quickly as that flooding happened, it dissipated. Again, the BQE here at Queens Boulevard had been shut down in both directions earlier this afternoon. As you can see, it is back open. I guess just enough time for people to take a breath and get ready for round two. We're live in Woodside. Anthony Carlo, Channel 7 Eyewitness News. Joe?
Just hours ago, this street looked like this. You can see that white car submerged in water. Some of the neighbors told me the water was almost as high as their hip. The street got really flooded because garbage and leaves were covering drains like this one, and that caused the water to rise. This water pump is currently draining water that flooded a basement. This is video of one of those flooded basements. You can see just how high that water is rising. The person who lives in this house, their basement was completely flooded, and also their garage was flooded, and they're a contractor, and that's where they store all of their tools. It was a huge financial loss for them because every time this kind of flooding happens, they have to rebuy their tools. The water was up to here in the garage and flooded everything that was underneath that shelf. Residents here in Flushing say they have to deal with this kind of flooding all the time, and they get concerned every time it rains.
Yeah, Joe, rained and it poured everywhere today. But as we know, there are certain communities that are hit especially hard. And this is one of them, 153rd Street and Peck Avenue in Flushing. When it rains here, well, it is not just a small problem that people get through. It took the whole day for them to get over this one. The rain is not just an inconvenience in this part of Flushing. It's the enemy. And these are its casualties. Ronald doesn't only need a new.
He had a gaming chair as well as a computer.
No way. No way. No way. No! Oh no!
Yeah, Queens is a mess. Wow. So, y'all, if you remember about a week ago, it flooded in Philly 3 times in 1 week. I just can't imagine. Boy, these people in the city, they are going through it for real. Yeah, it's no joke. It absolutely isn't. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. A lot of this is because the drains got garbage and all kinds of stuff in it that the city don't bother cleaning. And I bet you if they just went around and cleaned these drains out, even if they have to create jobs just so it would be enough people to go around the city and just clean, I think a lot of this flooding would just be non-existent. But they let things go. See, this is why you keep hearing people say that these folks don't maintain nothing. See, they want to be in charge, they want to be leading everything, but they don't want to maintain nothing. They want other people to maintain it because at the end of the day, they hate manual labor. They hate it. They want other people to do that. That's why slavery exists. These Europeans, they hate manual labor. So that's why it went from slavery to prisoners, all of the hard manual labor, because they sit around calling you lazy and they hate doing manual labor. I tell you what, you better get used to it because y'all sure going to be doing a lot of it in the future. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your support. And I have one more live coming up at 3:45, and this is going to be about all the power outages that are going on in America during a 100 plus degree heat wave. And the power is not coming back on right away. Many of these people are in over 100 degrees and they got to go days without any power before it comes back on. So, yes, America is in dire condition right now. So, y'all, I will see you then. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. And also, don't forget to pick up your hair products. Shalom, family.